Let's stop pretending that being nice gets you anywhere in this brutal world. You spend your entire life trying to be liked, text-backing people who don't care about you, and smiling at those who would step on you the moment you show weakness. You think love is power, but in reality, your desperate need for affection is your greatest vulnerability.
The harsh truth is that love is a volatile, fragile emotion, that people change as easily as their clothes. The moment you are no longer useful, the love they have for you evaporates. By building your life on being liked, you are constructing an empire on shifting sands, waiting for the inevitable collapse.
True, unbreakable dominance is never built on affection. It is anchored in a much darker, far more reliable human instinct. Niccolò Machiavelli tore off humanity's hypocritical mask and exposed this reality with a single chilling truth. It is much safer to be feared than loved. Because love is held by a chain of obligation which men break at every opportunity. But fear is preserved by a dread of punishment which never fails.
Machiavelli knew that fear is an absolute currency. It doesn't depend on the other person's mood. It depends on your capability to inflict consequences. While love begs for permission, fear commands absolute submission. This isn't academic theory. It is the ultimate law of power that dictated the rise of the largest empires on Earth.
Centuries before Machiavelli ever put these cold words into the prince, a man in the harsh, frozen steppes of Asia was already rewriting human history using fear as his primary weapon. Let me take you back hundreds of years to the 13th century, into the terrifying shadow of Genghis Khan and the unstoppable Mongol Empire.
Genghis Khan didn't conquer the known world by asking for permission or trying to win the hearts of his enemies. He understood, long before the Italian philosopher, that to rule a chaotic world, you must become the embodiment of absolute dread. He didn't just fight wars. He engineered a psychological climate of pure terror.
Look at how he handled the great Khwarezmian Empire, a sophisticated and proud civilization that dared to disrespect his envoys. Genghis Khan didn't just march to war. He unleashed a campaign of calculated extermination that shattered the psychological spine of the entire world.
When his armies reached the great city of Samarkand, he didn't offer peace terms built on mutual respect. He slaughtered the garrison, enslaved the artisans, and left pyramids of human skulls outside the burning gates. Machiavelli would later write, "Cruelty can be well used if it is applied once for safety." Genghis Khan used cruelty so perfectly that the mere whisper of his name became a death sentence.
The true genius of Genghis Khan's strategy was that he didn't even need to fight most of his battles. As his campaign moved toward the west, the sheer terror of what happened to Samarkand traveled faster than his horses. Cities thousands of miles away surrendered without a single arrow being shot, opening their gates to a man they had never seen, purely out of the desperate desire to survive.
Think about the absolute paradox of this. A conqueror taking over massive, heavily fortified regions without spilling a drop of his own soldiers' blood. This is exactly what Machiavelli meant when he argued that a reputation for cruelty actually saves lives in the long run. By executing one city ruthlessly, Genghis Khan forced 10 others to capitulate peacefully, avoiding prolonged bloody wars.
The world called him a barbarian, a monster from the steppes.
But that monster created a Pax Mongolica, where a maiden could walk from Europe to Asia with a golden basin on her head without being harmed. He achieved total security, not because his subjects loved him, but because the fear of his wrath was a universal law.
His success was a living testament to Machiavelli's philosophy. People break their promises of love when it suits them, but they never break their promises born of fear. Genghis Khan's name alone held a broken, fractured world together for generations, because nobody dared to find out what happened when that fear was challenged.
Now, let's leave the smoking ruins of ancient empires and the cold pages of Machiavelli's manuscripts, and let's bring this mirror right back to your modern life. Because the stage has changed, but the human psychology running the game remains exactly the same. Look around your workplace, your social circles, or your relationships. You are constantly bending over backward, trying to please everyone, compromising your boundaries just to prevent people from being upset with you. And what do you get in return? They take you for granted, trample your boundaries, and respect you less every single day.
You are trapped in the illusion that if you are good enough or nice enough, the world will reward you. But human nature doesn't respect niceness. It exploits it. The moment you show that you have no teeth, that you are incapable of striking back, you become prey to the predators around you.
Am I telling you to go out and burn down your social circles like Genghis Khan burned cities? Of course not. But you must understand the strategic value of being formidable. True respect is never given to the person who can't do harm. It is given to the person who can inflict consequences, but chooses to hold back.
Machiavelli and Genghis Khan are trying to wake you up from your naive slumber. They are showing you that a well-placed boundary, a cold refusal, or the willingness to walk away and let everything burn is worth more than 1,000 fake smiles. You need to possess a streak of ruthlessness just to keep people honest.
When you become too predictable, too sweet, you lose all leverage. But when people know that crossing you carries a psychological cost, that you are capable of turning cold and shutting them out completely, their behavior changes instantly. That slight, subtle dread of losing your favor is what keeps them loyal.
The great paradox of power is that the person who is most feared is often the one who can afford to be the most generous. Genghis Khan could reward his loyal generals with vast wealth because his authority was unquestioned. When your power is secured by fear, your kindness actually means something. When you are just nice, your kindness is treated as an obligation.
Stop begging for love from people who only value strength. If you want to rule your own life, you must stop fearing the discomfort of being disliked. Let them call you cold. Let them call you arrogant. Let them feel that slight chill in their spine when they think about crossing your line.
Every single day, you are choosing your position in this hierarchy. You are either the city opening its gates in fear, or you are the force shaping the reality around you. If you keep choosing comfort and popularity over respect, you will remain a footstool for those who understand the game better than you.
Machiavelli wrote the blueprint, and Genghis Khan carved it into the face of the earth. Power doesn't care about your moral justifications or your desires to be the good person. Power only recognizes the capacity to command respect through unwavering, formidable strength.
So, take a hard look at your life right now.
Look at the people who disrespect your time, your energy, and your value. They do it because they know you won't do anything about it. They do it because they don't fear losing you, and they certainly don't fear your reaction.
It is time to kill the people-pleaser inside you and let the strategist take the wheel. Become hard enough to protect your kingdom, formidable enough to make people think twice before crossing you, and wise enough to understand that a calculated reputation is your greatest armor.
Machiavelli and Genghis Khan left us with a dark, uncomfortable question that modern society tries desperately to hide under the blanket of toxic positivity. Now, I want to ask you, and I want you to be completely honest with yourself in the comments below. In your own life, has being the nice guy ever truly brought you power, or has it just made you the easiest target in the room? Choose wisely.